Here's how to rewire brain so you can make $8,937 in one day selling AI. This video is going to be one of the most important videos I have on this channel because it's not necessarily a mindset video, but it's going to challenge your life experiences. It's going to challenge your life perspectives in order to rewire your brain to be the person that you want to be in terms of scaling your AI agency. So let's jump into my computer. We could get right into it. You're just watching a bunch of YouTube videos online about AI agency or maybe dropshipping or maybe Amazon FBA, and I was the exact same way in the beginning. A little context that I could basically show you is right now we could see ourselves as basically being in this valley, right? So within this valley, what you have right here is you can only see everything that's in your peripheral and all the things around you. And from this valley, all you see or maybe a stream inside the valley, or you see some trees on the side. Around you, all you see are walls. Whether you're currently at $0 a month or 2K or 5K per month and you want to get to that 50K per month, right now you're in this valley and all of your decisions are made from what you currently see from your current perspective. But the person that you want to be at that 50K per month, at that 100K per month is actually on top of this valley. From the top, you could see all of the path that you took in order to get there. And you could see the birds, you could see the sun, and you could see the whole perspective of this entire valley and the path that you really took in order to get there. Of course, you notice yourself, sometimes you might veer off the path and you got back onto the path and you start making your way up this valley. Right now, your decision-making process is basically very concealed, where you don't have the same perspective as if you were at that 50K per month. There's going to be a lot of changes in terms of your character, in terms of how you think, in terms of the actions that you take whenever you're at that 50K per month because of the past of how they got there. But in reality, in order for you at that 5K per month to get to that 50K per month on top of that valley, you really have to take that first step, right? If you're stuck in this valley forever, nothing about your perspective is going to change. As soon as you make it up, maybe halfway up this valley, you could see that, hey, maybe this path was actually better in order to get on top of that 50K per month. But from the bottom, you can't see that at all. So sometimes you veer off the path, but the most important thing is whatever position you're in, maybe this is 10K per month, you go ahead and see all the decisions that you made in order to get to that 10K per month. And sometimes you realize, hey, maybe that won't get me to that 50K per month. But the most important thing is you took that first step. You got from 5K to 10K per month and your whole perspective on life switched. Just because all the perspective that you see at a higher point in up this valley is you see all the decisions that got you there and you could see the bottlenecks that'll stop you from getting to that 50K per month. And one anecdote I could basically think of this is whenever I first started an online business is when I was 15 or 16 years old. I remember watching Here in My Garage from Ty Lopez. And I joined the 67 steps. I drove to restaurants every single day after school. I pitched to these restaurant owners only to give up after 2 weeks. And from the same time, you see all these online entrepreneurs and all of them have massive followings, have massive wealth. And I realized that from the age when I was 16 until the age when I was 23, 7 years of my life just flew by. And I really had nothing to show for those 7 years of my life. Right? Maybe I went through some life experiences, got my first girlfriend, went through puberty, but in reality, in business, nothing really changed about my life. I was in the exact same spot I started 7 years ago. The main thing there was I see all these big guys. I started around the same time, and the main reason is I had a lot of shiny object syndrome, which a lot of you are probably experiencing today as well, right? You want to go into that new business model that's very shiny and very hot. But in reality, you never really commit to one thing. And that's actually what's stopping you from actually achieving success in business. Because when I started, I basically went to SMMA, went to Amazon FBA, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, day trading, crypto trading, only to find myself back in agency 7 years later. And the main thing that I was thinking is, do I want my next 7 years to look like my past 7 years? Because in those past 7 years, I basically achieved nothing in my business in terms of my financial goals. And do I really want the next 7 years of my life to look the same as the past 7 years? And from there, basically think of it as I started making that climb up that valley, right? whenever I was 23, I started making that climb. And of course, I'm not going to say it was easy, right? Everything in life that's worth doing, everything in life that will change your life is going to be challenging. Because if it was easy, I'm sure you've heard it a lot, if it was easy, every single person will be a multimillionaire, there'll be a billionaire, there'll be trillionaires. But it only takes that 0.1% of people that are actually committed to the process that actually change their life and change their family's life for the better. And every single online person that you see online, whether you're watching my YouTube videos or you're watching Elon Musk, they all been through the same struggles that you're going through right now whenever you take that first step. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have to battle bottlenecks. You're going to question in your mind if it's all worth it. I remember when I first started my agency, my first month, my first 2 months, every single night before bed, I was doing sales training, but every single night before bed, I was just thinking in my head, like, is this all even worth it? And the one mindset shift I had was, do I want my next 7 years to look like the past 7 years? Because I've been in this valley for 7 years. And if I don't take my first step to go up that valley, I'm never going to make it up to the top where we're currently at now, right? And even then, I'm probably on a different valley, even up here, because I want to hit bigger goals in my business. One thing that I could basically say is nobody in this life is coming to save you. No matter your parents, even if they love you, no matter your girlfriend, your spouse, nobody is coming to save you. I think that a lot of people are waiting for somebody to hold their hand in order to take that first action in terms of going up that valley. But in reality, everybody wishes you the best, but you're the only person that could control your own fate. It might sound very dooming, right? You're going to go through challenges, but you should also be optimistic about it, right? I'm the person responsible for my family's financial future. I'm the person responsible for my 7 years to not look like the past 7 years. It's all on me. And you should feel some liberty in that, because in this life, you could change any situation that you're currently in, right? If I book a one-way to Australia, maybe I find my wife and I live in Australia my entire life, right? One small change is going to make a big impact on your business. And I'm not going to lie and say everything's going to be all sunshines and rainbows, because it's going to be hard. You're going to challenge your beliefs. You're going to have doubts. You're going to go through objections. You're going to go through probably hundreds of sales calls or 50 or 60 sales calls and not close a single deal like I did. And the main reason was I come from an introverted background, but I didn't blame myself for not closing those sales calls, right? You just go through the repetitions, you go through volume. Every single call that you take, you're going to get better. Every single client that you go through, your fulfillment is going to get better. You're going to get more referrals, but it all comes to making that first step. Even me with my AI software, I needed to hire a developer, but I've never hired a developer in my life. So I didn't even know what the first step was going to be in terms of getting that developer that can come on board and basically scale up my product. Instead of weeks of thinking like, hey, how am I going to do this? What you really do is you set up the first step of, hey, let's go find some developers, let's interview them, and let's hire them and see how they do. And you won't get there just by watching YouTube videos like this or watching theory on business or watching Alex Hormozy, which is a big guy I really respect in the industry. But in reality, like, he puts it very simply, right? If you don't have leads, generate leads. If you don't have sales appointments, generate sales appointments. And if your sales sucks, get better at closing. If your fulfillment sucks, hire somebody that's better, or just get more clients so you could do fulfillment and you could get better at it. And it's very simple, right? Business is very simple, but the biggest challenge is going to be the mental block of taking that first step. There's nothing in life where for the first time you do it, you're going to be good at it, right? Unless you're some prodigy. Even prodigies, they catch up fast. That first time they ever rode a bike, that first time they ever did that sales call, they're going to be bad at it. And that's expected. But every single time you take that repetition, you're going to get better. Right? If I rode a bike for 100, 200, 300 days in a row, I'm going to be good at riding a bike. And that goes for all things in life, right? If you fall off the bike, get back on the bike, find out why you fell off the bike, and you keep moving forward. Because to make it up that valley, you're going to have to. No helicopter is coming to save you to pull you out of that valley. And all of this comes to being said that one day you'll have to take the first step. And the first step is going to be very challenging, right? It's not going to be very easy. You're going to have all these doubts and you're going to not want to take that first step. But in reality, what's going to happen is if you don't take that first step, maybe you push it off for a month, right? That month becomes 6 months, and that 6 months becomes 3 years. And those 3 years become 7 years. And you wind up in the situation I was when I was 23, that I realized my 7 years in my past, I've done nothing in terms of business. The only thing that I could do now is change my fate for the next 7 years. And if I never make that decision, I've never invested in that mastermind that I paid tens of thousands of dollars for, you probably wouldn't even be watching this YouTube video. And you wouldn't be listening to me rant about a value. That's all I really have to say. And if you're really willing to take that first step and you're 100% committed into taking that first step, my team and I will go ahead and build out all your automations. We'll build out all the sales scripts that we use to close $8,137 in one day. And we'll guide your way there, right? You could think of us as a guide up that valley. If not, you could keep watching YouTube videos like this, or even you don't have to join whatever we have, but just make that first step and things will change about your life, right? It's going to be a spiritual experience where you're going to go through all the challenges, but at the end, whenever you look on top of that canyon and you look down at the valley, you can see all the paths you went to get there. You're going to feel fulfillment on all the things that you did in order to get to that top. That's all I have for this video. If you like this video and you want more mindset videos, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.